Getting some tanks a little bit isolated. Denzowens is getting pushed on, but actually doing a good job of staying alive here. Has pulled Cora and Rob out of the fight a little bit, and got Tanner into a little bit of trouble in his Vickers, taking some shots by Jake Knight and Sergeant in the Sheridan and the 268 in the back, getting good cover fire over here. Insecticide is holding the middle lane with his mouse here. We're watching as Rival is trying to make a hold on this Void team. You have Tanner in the back, going to get some information, maybe going to get onto the ACAP later on. And over on this side, we have Even Steven and Ghost Ranger trying to bleed these tanks out. Ghost Ranger with a very nice missile there. Didn't get to see it, but I did see the damage going in. Sir Executioner getting a nice shot onto Even Steven. Insecticide now getting onto the B-cap, although he is a little bit isolated. Tanner getting a shot into him. He's reverse side scraping on Cora. Gets a bounce, but he is going to be in trouble here. Now making his way out of that B-cap, getting shot by Rob. Actually takes a ton of damage, 1,000 damage. And goes down there. The JFK Experience 2019 now taking some shots from these E5 and the Sheridan here. Chipotle's life in the E5 as well. Sergeant in the Sheridan is actually taking a lot of damage. Denzowin is now getting pushed on as well. Rob looking to pick up the kill. Ghost actually going for it. Not able to pen. Tough shot there on the back of an IS-4 as he was kind of using the building to reverse side scrape. But now Rival is folding to Pramo's push. Ghost now taking out Jake Knight in the 268. Tanner flanking through the town, going to help him out here. Ghost might go down to the 268. Gets knocked down. Ghost Ranger and Vickers of Tanner going for the kill shot here. And it's just clean up for Pramo now. Rival were doing a decent job of holding, but perhaps bled a bit much. They're getting some good bleeds as well, but wasn't enough to get the win here. Vickers of Tanner actually getting a lot of damage in, as well as a Sheridan, so Void using good use of their mobility, getting in damage early on. Do apologize for getting the stream up late. I was having some trouble with my streaming software here. Still should be on me to figure that out. We have, of course, Rival here. Facing off against Void. Still Middleburg, but of course spawns are going to be swapped. Best of 3. So the next win, if it goes to Void, will spell Rival's defeat. Rival's going to be taking double mouse, quad IS4s, and a Vickers, maybe leaning towards more of a town strat, going for double caps and then holding, while Pramo, or Void, the Void team, is going to be taking double E5s, a Sheridan, a T22, 2 IS4s, and a Vickers light to top it off. Now, this is going to be the same lineup as they had last game, so they're probably, or they might be taking a similar strategy, but they could also switch it up, which could be could catch Rival off guard. We're on board here with Batchat begins. I'm gonna get up into the free cam. The Void team is going to be going up the hill again. 3 mobile tanks going towards the seaside. Denzo wins in that Vickers is way overextended. He's not going to get back up. Will he take a shot here? Definitely does. An HE shell straight into the rear by Ghost Ranger in that Sheridan, putting a ton of damage into him, but he actually is going to get some backup here. Pramo might get caught overextended if they continue to push and try to catch him, but they won't make that mistake since they already have the cap and they don't even need to make a push on anything. The mice of Rival are actually pushing through the mid. Looks like they're just going to try to drag some attention, but I really don't think that's going to be helpful for them. Unless they do manage to push them up later if Pramo starts making a move. Jake Knight taking a shot from Ghost Ranger in that Sheridan, putting a good missile shot in, going to trade some damage for it. Make Watt be great again though, taking double taps from an IS-4 and a T-22. Maybe not the best trade there. But Rival perhaps can afford to do something with that much HP that they have with the double mice. The double mice are actually going to be pushing in now. Tanner taking a lot of damage from them, even though he could just run from them. Tries to stay, maybe waste their time. Now he's going to be backing out of there while Pramo, or the Void team, is going to be making a push here. 6 tanks on 3. The mice are going to be completely out of the fight, and that's why I did not think that'd be the best idea. Pramo were not going to fall for that. And Ghost Ranger taking some shots, but make Watt be great again. Completely destroyed in the first volley. Wonderful focus fire there. Chip is now getting focused out. Chip goes down in that E5. Pramo still have a gun advantage now. Insecticide in the mouse, able to put his HP into the game. Even Steven taking a lot of damage, 1400 down. The HPs are actually really close, but still more guns in the favor of Pramo, the Void team. Steven finally goes down, but the gun advantage is starting to show here, where this Void team is taking advantage of the gun advantage that they have. Jake Knight taking more hits, finally goes down. Tanner goes down in the back. 2 of Denza wins, but Denza wins going down to Ghost Ranger. Now we just have a mouse, almost full HP, versus 4 tanks. Like, the HP was pretty even for a good time there, but Void showing that they had the better focus fire, ended up winning that team fight. Mouse finally going to go down here. Ghost Ranger with the ram, does no damage, goes down finally. So you see there, the Void team had 3 low HP tanks, but they did a very good job of focusing out the Rival team, especially in that first volley. Like, a lot of pushes come down to the first volley, especially if you can knock down a tank very quick. That's going to be a huge plus for the rest of the team fight, because as soon as you can get that gun advantage, you can start making your DPM advantage count, of course. Batchat begins actually picking up 6 kills of pools, casual pools in a tournament game. Now I don't have Uprising anymore, but we could check the brackets for now. See which teams are making it through. So for the final stage here, we'll go from the top. So Ishtar, that was yesterday's game, haven't finished against 7 Rats, Ascendants. Storm went against Hated, it looks like. Or was that yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday. So they got a bye in this round, actually. So they don't play their first matches until the second round of this tournament. Straight still haven't finished against Shiro. Oop, went too far. 7 Rats we already saw. Void we already saw. Shiro we already saw. Purple. See Purple. Purple facing off against Hated. Results still are not in either. And MM actually lost to Hated. So Hated picked up a win against MM. MM are going to be knocked out of this stage. So actually Hated, I was wrong. Hated won their first rounds, and they're going to be facing off against Purple. So Purple as well, I think, got a bye. Yeah, Purple and Storm both got a bye. I'm not sure how that works. This probably has to do something with win rate, because I believe it's win rate. And one of the things here is that I believe the team win rate here, shown in this page, right at the top, is weighted by battle count, while the one that they use for seeding the tournament is not. So RGN actually got a bye to the second round as well. Rival, right, we just saw. I think Pincer had a match. No, they didn't. They also had a bye. So 4 teams looks like got a bye. This Void team is through. I think for now I'm gonna play. Might as well play regular. Or maybe rating. I guess I'll play rating. There's going to be almost 20 minutes until the next game, so I have a time for a few games. I'll play the T95V6. I haven't played this tank, well, I just got this tank and I haven't really played it outside of Uprising. See how it is in rating. I'm not really sure what I want to do here. I might play the seaside because they have a lot of mediums. And it's got good gun depression, but the whole armor isn't very good. The turret is decent. There's a Sheridan there, he might get a shot in. E3 looks like he's speed boosted because got there quite quick. Getting spots in on the side, so there's people that way. Try to bleed this E3 with HE in the roof. It's taking a lot of damage from HE. Might even just get straight up killed by HE. Penned him with heat, but he did get me in the cupola there. Good shot by him. Doing my best to not get hit, but he hit it. Got a marksman. It's kind of an aggressive poke, but they're not really making any moves yet. Sheridan putting in a shot towards our IS-7. T-22's in a good position there. Might try this, since the hole is pretty short. I should probably move now, because as soon as the mediums finish up over on that side, I'm gonna be in trouble. Our team is pushing over that way. Not gonna be good because the Badger has free farm, basically. Unless he moved. No, he's still there. $50B trying to get a shot on me. Just turn the turret and bounce. Sheridan's getting pushed on. Ariag is kind of low. Just a little bit worried about the Badger right now. The 50B is actually going to be an issue because he could get a good chunk of damage into me before he dies. I want to rotate this way, cross as soon as the mouse fires, and try to clear this 50B who is overextended and doesn't have support. I don't want to bleed a lot to him though. I7 with the kill. Now we have to farm this Badger. We can leave the mouse for later. I think I have the quicker reload. Maybe not since he has adrenaline. Shooting down on the Badger. Armor's not a big deal with heat. Sneak a shot into the cheek there. This thing's gun handling is pretty nice. Missed a shot. Not sure what our 268 is doing. And I'm not sure where their 4202 is. He might be AFK. AFK, yeah. No, 4202 penning him with Esh in the front. Yeah. Turret cheeky got him there. 268 missed his shot, and 4202 gets the win, or the kill shot there. Use the upvotes. Effective player. Brain dead 40%er. Still have time before the next games. Just checking. In chat. Naval Frontier. It's kind of a hit and miss game. Or map, my mistake. I feel like sometimes it can be very fun, and other times it's just kind of like stalematey. That missile is going nowhere. Not sure what he was trying to do there. Commend the effort though. It looks like the enemy team is going on the upper side, the sea side. Track the E75 as he's crossing. I don't think I'll get another shot into him though. Unless he stays there. Should be very not a good idea for him. Get a shot into the Sheridan as he crosses. Sheridan's actually taking a lot of damage. Most of the enemy team is on that other side. Looks like they're pushing. Don't know if that's the best play for them. Get a shot into the 57's track, but only track him. He's not gonna peek that again. 62A. This tank's gun depression is actually pretty nuts. I believe it's 10, which is very good. Get the mantlet of the Vickers knocked out his gun. That didn't actually do damage to him. Trying not to bleed here and get the kill. Our 62A goes down. Bounce off the side of this E6. Might get a shot in. Try to track him again. Bounce off the roof of the E75. Their Vickers should have the Sheridan, unless the Sheridan plays that very well. Hey, help out the Hori here with the kill shot. Now you can help me with the C75. .57 makes a good rotation out of there. I'm gonna try to hold this area here, keep the elevation, but the 57 might be around this corner, so I want to check first. He's not. Thought the Sheridan would be going up there. .62A now, trying to flank here. Gets a shot into the Hori. I'm gonna push him now with this IS-7. IS-7 gets a really low roll. Or we're shooting APCR. I'm gonna eat a shot for our IS-7. Try to block the 62A from getting to him. Didn't succeed. Unfortunately. 57 gets picked off by the VK. Very nice. Next match is starting in about 9 minutes. So let's see what are going to be the matchups. We have RGN versus Ishtar at that time there, which would be 8:30 Eastern. Or no, 9:30 Eastern. Again, this is like some weird mountain time or something. Storm versus Shiro. The Void team versus Pincer. It's going to be an interesting match. I believe I'm going to be watching this one, so I'm glad to be watching this one. Purple versus Hated, and that should cover all of them. Next games are going to be in 7 minutes. Invite gets out in about 3 then, so I won't be going into another game. Look over the rewards for this tournament here. Now again, the group stage gives a good chunk of cups. So these cups are what these clans are after, because that's going to be what determines their place on the leaderboard. And of course the aim is to get top 8 on the leaderboards. So about 5,200 cups there for winning first place on yesterday's stage. This is yesterday's stage, which is a group stage. And only about 300 less for winning second place. For comparison, final stage of today gives much less cups. It's almost It's like 40% of the cups earned yesterday. So it's like 5,000 compared to 2,000 here. The difference between first and second, though, is a little bit larger. We have about 400 cups compared to 300 difference. It's a little bit interesting how they balanced the cups there. I'm not sure exactly how they came up with these numbers, like 2011, 1597, but the idea is there. Obviously, the higher you place, the more cups you get. Now, at the same time, though, I guess that was from last game. Oh, I'm actually watching a different match. Not sure how that works, but alright. That's fine too. We have Argian against Ishtar. And it's going to be on the map Oasis Palms. We have Argian on the south spawn. Ishtar is going to be taking that north spawn. Now, for south spawn, I believe you can play a lot more passive in the desert and protects you a little bit easier, in my opinion. Just because you can place a tank destroyer in the far back corner and it's going to be very difficult to push out of. But again, that is a little bit of my opinion. A lot of teams don't really do that because if there is an A push, it is difficult for that tank to provide cover fire. And that is the difference on this map here. For A, pushing A on that north spawn is sometimes a little bit easier to do because of the fact of the tank destroyer support not being as easy to recognize or to make. It's more difficult for the tank destroyer to put itself in a good and safe position to farm from at a decent distance where it won't get singled out from that south spawn. So it makes north a little bit easier on that A side. At the same time, A is a little bit difficult to get into because a lot of teams place a little bit, or just like one or two tanks at least, to get resets on A or punish anything going into it at the very least. Alternatively, from that, the north spawn, well, I guess either side, like the B cap is going to be right in the middle of the cap, or of the map, and it is almost always difficult to take unless a team goes primarily C, and it's difficult for that team on the C cap to get resets on B. Now, of course, this is going to be a 3-cap map if you've played Blitz before and you have Supremacy on. I recognize some people don't play Supremacy, just for personal preference, but I'm telling you now, there's 3 caps on this map, and I've been discussing it a little bit. So you have the seaside in that hilly sand area, where you could go all the way in the corner, or it's like sometimes a play, but it is a little bit removed from the rest of the map. The 2 caps that are closer together are going to be the A and the B caps. The B cap is situated pretty much right in the middle of the map, but it is a little bit exposed besides a big rock that covers it from the seaside. And the A cap is on the opposite corner as the seaside. Now, a lot of the times you have maybe like one or two tanks in the B area getting ready to reset or punish anything that's getting onto the B cap. And surprisingly, I haven't seen a lot of plays through that B area just because it gets spotted decently easy. And it is a little bit difficult to manage focus fire if you do start pushing through there. I feel like it'd be interesting to see like a sort of V play, since I have almost never seen that besides maybe like tier 8 tournaments, which are vastly different than tier 10. But again, it's a tough play to make, which is a big reason of why teams don't do that. Most of the time you either choose to go A or C and like try to prioritize getting those caps and try to get either A or C cap. Now, another way teams play it, well, a lot of the times, right, teams aren't going to leave a cap completely open. So they leave like one tank to spot and one tank to reset for the C side, and then for A you just leave one kind of at the hills near the A cap just to get resets or of course punish a tank going into it. But we'll have to see what each team does here. Haven't gone over the lineups, but here it is. We have an E100, 2 IS4s, 2 E5s, a Mouse, and a Vickers for RGN. For Ishtar, there's a good chunk of HP more, about 500 to 600 more. They have a Mouse, the triple IS4, an E5, a Batchat, oh, 2 Mice. Ishtar is going to be making a play towards that middle area with these 2 IS4s. They might pull off to the C side. Oh, and Ryguy pit maneuvering WDR. RGN is going to be taking double E5s towards that C area. Might get spotted by this Batchat here. Batchat is playing a little bit far back. I don't know if he'll be spotting anything. He's only spotting something on C. Hated Fate in that E100 gets spotted very far out there. Gets double tapped and tracked by the Batchat and the E5. RGN getting onto the C cap. Mike is sitting on that C. Reset shot from Unique going in, but not penning, so Mike is going to be getting away with that cap. We have Ryguy, though, and WDR pushing in towards Hated Fate. Hated is a little bit isolated here, but he would get support from these RGN tanks here if they try pushing up towards him. He needs to get clear, though, and get out of the way of these IS4s. The IS4s, wow, this E100 is getting absolutely nailed from all angles. He cannot hide. The Mouse is actually pushing into B. Hated is now on 391 HP, basically a one-shot. The Mouse might get the kill here. Dragon doing a good job of blocking. Batchat actually trying to get a shot in. Gets the kill on the E100 side turret. Now these IS4s are getting pushed on by 3 tanks here. Mike, Nike SB, and Fadu all putting shots into WDR. The focus fire here. Kenny Otsu, Hater, has also taken a lot of damage here. Not exactly sure where that damage came in from, but the main fight is going to be here. WDR picks up the kill. Fadu's now getting focused out in the E5, pops 2 of the consumables, trying to stay clear and survive as long as he can, but he's going to go down to James Zoe here. Guns are even now. James taking a huge amount of damage, goes down. Nate also getting focused out, though. Ishtar have basically the same HP. TJF Blue is just taking the caps, has taken A, going for B as well, puts a shot into Ryguy. Ry taking a lot of damage as well. Nate finally goes down, took a really long time to kill, and now we just have an E5, a Mouse, and a Batchat for Ishtar versus 2 IS4s, a Mouse, and a Vickers for RGN. Mike is taking 2 shots of damage. Very good shot when in. Actually goes down to ram damage. Not sure how that happened, but Mako has a turret of an E5 sitting on him. I'm not sure if that allowed him to shoot. He's trying to shake it off. RGN would do good. Oh, he actually did get a shot off. Unique getting tracked there. Triple tapped. Getting tracked twice. He has no repair unless he's taking 2 repairs. But no, he actually used them both there for the 2 tracks. Nike with the kill shot. And now it's just Vickers of TJF Blue looking for the kill on the Batchat. Going to be chasing him down. Fluffing a shot. Batchat fluffs a shot as well. A duel going on here. Batchat gets tracked. 440 HP. The Vickers might be putting in an HE shell. The Hesh shot puts it in. 404 roll. And takes out a bunch of crew members. Still putting in a shot. Gets knocked out, and the Mouse of Mako was getting shot by both an IS4 and a Mouse. Doesn't go down, of course. That's a lot of HP to chew through. So, Hated Fate actually getting knocked out in that E100 very quickly. was pretty exposed there, but it was actually impressive what kind of shots Ishtar had on them. Like, realistically, I thought only the IS-4s would have it, but it almost seemed like that strat revolved around knocking out tanks in that back area. So they have their angles very worked out there, very good shots going in, and were able to pick up Hated Fate very easily and quickly. Although RGN were able to take the cap game in their favor with the Vickers, again taking both the A and the B caps. Ishtar didn't really have anything defending the A or the B cap. Well, they pushed through B, but as soon as that happened, those tanks were a little bit isolated, and they did get knocked out in the end. Or actually, the first mass to push actually didn't die, and that was Mako. Anyways, this next match we're gonna see spawn swapped, RGN taking the north spawn, Ishtar taking the south. Ishtar has readied up their lineup. It's going to be 2 E5s, 2 IS4s, or 3 IS4s, a mouse, and a Progetto, which is not something I would expect to see, but a lot of the times teams should always be picking tanks for the roles and the positions they're going to be taking. So the Progetto is going to have a role that I want to see. I'm very interested to see what they're going to use it for over a bat. RGN is going to be taking 2 E5s, triple IS4s, a 268, and a Vickers Light. Again, I'm not a huge fan of tank destroyers in this meta, but the 268 on that south spawn might put in some nice damage. Or on the north spawn, my mistake. I imagine RGN is just going to be taking a sort of defense on C with, or actually it looks like they're all turning towards that C side. The Progetto of Ishtar, again, I was interested to see what they were going to try to do with it. And now that I think about it, I imagine it's to try to bully out any light tanks that that the enemy will most likely have. Progetto's going to be looking for some shots here, get some spots as well. Spots a lot of tanks going that way, and he's going to be making a run for it because he's most likely going to go down. Although, well, if he stays in that overextended position, get some good spots off. The Vickers also getting some good spots off. Spots 2 IS4s here and an E5 in the back. And now pretty much all the tanks have been spotted on the C side here. And it's basically a mirror lineup here. 2 E5s and 2 IS4s for each team. And again, here we're going to have the B cap. This is going to be difficult to deal with for Rain. They have an IS4 ready to reset. Puts a shot in, does no damage, but knocks out his tracks, which of course module damage also resets the cap. TJF Blue is a little bit overextended here. He's alone, but RGN are going to have to be... No, that means RGN are going to have a tank advantage on some other piece of the map. James taking some damage. RGN's actually going to be pushing in towards this E5s here. Mike takes 2 shots, but Unique is really hurting in that E5. Takes a lot more damage. Trying to stay clear of guns, doing a good job of it. Fadu needs to put that shot in. Mike goes down before Unique does. Nate has the kill shot, but now it's going to be an E5 focused out here. Fadu taking a lot of damage, way overextended. Dragon trying to put his HP into the game, but it's not looking good for this RGN push here. Dragon trying to HP share with Fadu. Takes a huge shot from Mako. James Zoe goes down. Vickers going to be trying to put his DPM into the game. Was a little bit out of the fight for a while. The 268 now pushed out of his spot, and it's going to be very difficult for RGN to pull this back. WDR now going down though, and we have a lot of Ishtar tanks coming in to support. RGN needs to clear Mako really fast if they want to win this game. Shot going in towards his Royal Fatness, not going and penning. Dragon is going to be the next focus most likely by this Ishtar team. RGN actually, with the Vickers coming in, able to equalize on HP about and guns. They actually have a gun advantage. The Vickers is going to need to do a very good job of using his mobility and DPM might get into a fight that's not going to go very well for him with the Progetto, and he looks like he's actually going to be doing a good job of kiting the Progetto and wasting his time, but at the same time, his DPM is going to be going to waste. Ishtar does have 3 caps at this point. RGN needs to kill these tanks as fast as they can before the caps go and against them. So the Vickers was actually going out towards the B cap. The Progetto puts some shots in, and RGN really need to manage the cap here. The Progetto is going to be getting some shots into Dragon. Dragon's going to take a shot from the mouse, putting him to a one-shot. The Progetto might pick him up here. Not going to make the poke, though. The 268 of Hated Fate and Nate the Great able to take out the mouse. Now RGN can take the C cap. Dragon's a one-shot, though. Losing Dragon could make situation on cap even more perilous, but again, the Vickers went off to cap both B and A. RGN making very good management of the caps with the Vickers and the mobility. The Progetto now not able to keep up with the light tank. Has to get some kills to win the game, but it's going to be extremely difficult for him as they have Nate the Great just taking the hits here. Nate getting 2-shot there. I'm actually not sure how that tracked, but then again, it is the E5. 268 looking for the kill shot, gets it off, and Ishtar's run in this tournament coming to an end. Ishtar was doing a very good job of winning that fight on C until the Vickers came in and neutralized the situation. So Mike going down very quick in that IS-4. Again, the volley of focus fire, I believe, was in Ishtar's favor. They were gonna win that that brawl there if the Vickers didn't come in and start doing some damage. But again, that was RGN's strat. It was more C oriented, and they came in and did the damage on C. Able to win that fight there. The Progetto was forced out of there. I'm actually not sure why the Progetto went all the way across the map. That was most likely the rotation for the Progetto to get the A and the B cap for Ishtar, and they actually did a very good job of that. So Progetto was able to get the A cap and help with the B clear. TJF Blue, of course, went down very quickly, able to get a reset, but like in the end, I don't know if it was very worth it. I guess he wasted time, and that was very good. And it seems like he did waste a lot of time. I'm actually going to check how many hits he took. 12 hits, 3 non-pens. So IS-4 in that area was able to do enough to waste time for, again, the Vickers and the 268. 268 did a good chunk of damage as well to come in and neutralize that C fight. Nate the Great actually dropping a pretty good game there, as well as the Progetto. So Progetto was doing a good job of getting clips in. Mako doing well both games. Dragon Creek also doing very nice damage. I'll check the rest of the... Oh, that's not it. And that's not it. I'll check the rest of the tournament results and see if they're in. So Ishtar, of course, got knocked out just now by RGN. Storm, let's see how they're doing. Storm have not finished their matches against Shiro. We have Purple here actually losing to Hated. So Hated picks up a win on Oasis Palms, 2 games to none on against Purple. Hated is going to be moving on to the quarterfinals, I believe it is, and somehow missed Void. Void have not finished their matches against Pincer, but this seeding is going to be it could be interesting. If Void are able to win, this could mean Pincer is going to miss out on a good chunk of cups, which could bring them down in the leaderboards. Ultimately, of course, the main goal is to get top 8. So most likely Pincer, Void, RGN, pretty much a lot of these teams here are going to be in top 8, almost no matter what. maybe, actually, I haven't really checked the lower end of the leaderboard. This early loss for Straight is going to hurt them definitely in the leaderboard though. Because I believe they're in the lower half. And I'm actually going to check that real quick. So it should be Hall of Fame for the clans, autumn season, top echelon, which is going to be the top 8 teams. We have Pincer, RGN, Void in top 3, in that order. We have Moonman, Gamma, Ishtar, or GMA, Ishtar, Hated, and GP. So interestingly enough, we actually don't see GP in this tournament here. Now, Hated is definitely going to benefit from this, and I'm actually going to go on to the next one because, well, we'll check here. GP has 9,679 cups, and that's going to be the cutoff for top 8 before going into today. Straight is at 9,661 cups. 7 rats. Shiro's making it further into this final here, or this final stage here, but Shiro is about 500 cups behind GP, which is the cutoff. Straight is actually very close, and just from today they're going to be making it into top 8 as long as they don't get slingshot by another clan. And actually Shiro has the chance to do so depending on how far they make it into this in this tournament. Now if we check the rewards again, the minimum amount of cups that a team makes just for playing in today's part of the tournament. Let's see how many teams there are. So that's 4, 8, 12 teams. So it's going to be 419 for 9 through 16. So that's how many cups Straight are going to be making. So far, since they got knocked down first round, 5th through 8 give about 200 cups more. And this is it's more than 500. So Shiro needs to make it into top 4 for them to beat Straight into top 8 for today. Storm is currently sitting at 15th. Oh, GMA is actually sitting at 16th with 8,100 cups. Storm is sitting at 8,448. Storm actually made it to, well, let's see, lost to Shiro, so Storm is going to be knocked out there, meaning that they get about 400 cups, I believe it was, so they won't be getting into top 8 with the amount of cups they earned today. Shiro has a decent chance actually. Well, Shiro actually pretty much secured, oh yeah, Shiro just secured 4th. So I believe Shiro is going to be getting into top 8, and Straight is going to be missing out. So I think going into tomorrow so far, top 8 is going to be looking just a tiny bit different. And it's going to be Pincer, RGN, Void, GMA, Ishtar, Hated, and Straight. So GP is going to be dropping out of top 8 and Straight's going to be making it into top 8. At least that's what it looks like so far. Next matches are going to be taking place in about 13 minutes, I think. Let me just check to make sure. About 12-13 minutes, so we'll kill some time in a raiding game. I'm just checking the chat right now. Biggie cheese. Hope he doesn't start spamming profanities, that'd be kind of sad. Kebabbed. Hello, kebabbed. And I mess up this climb ever so slightly. I wasn't really paying attention to the map, but it's obviously Castilla at this point. I want to be making my way up towards the Castilla. Or maybe not. Depends on what these heavies are doing. So actually, I might just chill here and do some damage to this 113 and the 100 if they overextend. The tree was providing camo, so I didn't get spotted when I shot. Vickers is on the outside trying to spot any tank destroyers. I might be able to tag him here. Not getting the shot in. Vickers is spotted up there. I think the heavies have shots on him, but he's actually getting a shot into the Panzer 70. Oh, this is not the best move here. Wow, the 121 just got wrecked for 1200. Vickers' armor is a little bit redonkulous on that mantlet there. It's actually going to be a tough game because you don't have anywhere to rotate, and I made my play over towards the Castilla too slow. The Vickers is overextended, but I can't pin him. Can't even hit him. And now this is really bad because we're going to get completely surrounded now, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it except for hope that our heavies start pushing. I might even have to do it. But again, pushing up that way is definitely not something you want to be doing, like the E75 is pushing, because you get shot from things over up on the castle. The Foch is spotted. I didn't even realize they had a Foch. I'm trying to get a flank on this E100, but it's definitely not going to work out for me. E100 has a ton of HP, and I don't have support. E100, of course, does have support. Gets a shot into my... I don't even know where. He's actually doing a good job of keeping that lower plate unpennable. I'm just getting outplayed here at this point. Might get one more shot in, but nope. Not a good game for me. If I was paying attention, I would have gone up to the Castilla faster. I swore I think flanked or something, I don't know. ST1, trying to stay alive as long as he can. I swear it's getting focus fired out. And goes down. I was checking chat again. I did really bad. And next matches should be starting in about 6 minutes. Invite should be out in 1 or 2. So I'll be chilling in the garage for a little bit. Got some avatars from the past. Check my avatar collection now. These avatars actually look kind of interesting. This one's kind of cool. Not that I really mind avatars very much. And these are just fake residual invites. For whatever reason, there are some invites that show up and don't go away. Those would be some of them. The invite should be out pretty quick now. I'll actually look at this thing. I do like the model for this, especially like the drone that comes out and flies around. His model's actually pretty well done for a mobile game. Oh wow, I hadn't even seen it really completely. It even opens things up. Oh, that's actually pretty sick. I know that when you fire, this like box comes out, and that's cool. I do like that. Drone scanning again. Alright, didn't open anything else. So, semifinals here. We have RGN versus Pincer. Collecting some more spectators here. We have Ioneer spectating, going to be streaming in Spanish. Have 916 Zerd showing off the AMX MLE 54. Switching to an IS4. Map is going to be Fort Despair. And of course, 3-cap map, we have the C cap on like in the middle, or not in the middle, in the heavy side, which is going to be on the bottom right corner of the map. B cap is going to be pretty much in the middle, and the A is pretty much out in the open on the top left side of the map, if you can see there. A cap is difficult to capture just because a lot of teams just put like one tank and it basically makes it impossible to cap unless you put like a bunch of tanks onto that A cap, but then it's just like A cap is just way out and open. B cap is also difficult to cap, but not in the same way. Probably actually one of the easier caps to take on this map, although you do have to make a commit once you get onto that cap. That's pretty much the case for most of the caps except for C. C is a little bit safer to cap, although it's very limited in options for taking it. It's got some good cover, but it can also be reset depending on where you are trying to capture it from. A lot of the time, if a team goes for a quick cap, it's going to be on C, or if teams are trying to make a play, it's also good, or trying to force a play from the enemy, it could be C as well, an initiation towards that C side. A cap, that A side where the mediums go, the top left corner of the map, is going to be where some early game plays can start from as well, just because you can get into that corner relatively safely and quickly and make it difficult to for a lot of the rest of the team to play. Like, you can force some plays on that side and start taking map control. And on the B side, or in the B area, once a team commits to that B area, it's almost always signifying a push, unless the team for some reason like leaves B completely open, which I've almost never seen. I've seen it before, but it's exceedingly rare. But a lot of the times, once a team makes a play towards B, they're going to be making a play towards A or C as well. A lot of the time, they'll make a play towards A and like the outer area of B, just because it's obviously you can support that B cap much better than a C push can. In any case, each team has their tanks picked out. We have RGN and Pincer about to duke it out in the semifinals of today's Ascent tournament. We have 4 IS4s on RGN's team, an E100, a mouse, and an E3. For Pincer, we have 3 IS4s, a 113, 2 E5s, and a mouse. So RGN opting for more armor, it seems, and a little bit, or a good chunk less mobility. We have an E3, a mouse, and an E100, relatively immobile tanks, but they can lay in the hurt with their good armor, and the E100 and the E3 with their solid guns. Big Alpha can chip tanks down very quickly. Now we have here, the battle is going to be starting. RGN is starting in the north spawn. We have Pincer starting on the south spawn. The 113 and the E5s for Pincer going to be making their way towards that A corner. RGN really can't contest that with any tank that they have, so they're going to have to make some plays on that VC side. Can't be shook in that IS4, crossing over towards the encounter area here. Can't be shook might take a shot from Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician not able to get a shot into the side of the IS4. Gets spotted as well, so RGN, actually, there's a ton of tanks for Pincer in that A corner. RGN have spotted external Doomy and a 113 in that corner. They can afford to start making some plays on that C side. Hesitant to do so though, because as soon as they get onto that C side, it's going to signal that Pincer that Can't Be Shook is going to be isolated, besides this IS4 here of Mike and the E100 of Hated supporting. Mike does have resets on B in this position. TJF Blue has got onto the C cap, is going to be forcing play from Pincer. Pincer actually rotated Kami out, gets shot, gets spotted far back there. Mike is now spotted, rotating out of his position. Can't Be Shook now definitely isolated, does not have any cover fire besides Hated Fate and Fadu. Although if Pincer decides to push on this outside area, it's going to be difficult for them to do anything, for RGN to do anything about it. Can't Be Shook facing off against 916 Zerd, taking basically the mirror position here. RGN is a little bit defensive right now. They have the caps. Can't Be Shook communicating in the cap, or in the chat. Hated Fate and Fadu both taking the alpha guns. Hated now trying to rotate a little bit. Gets spotted though. Might get shot from external. Gets nailed in the side. Bleeds a little bit. Pincer though has bled as well. Pincer, what is that shot from Kami? All the way from spawn, from downtown, landing a 3-pointer into the side of Can't Be Shook's turret. Not a huge amount of damage, of course, but any little bit that you can bleed on the enemy is most certainly welcome. So Kami kind of making himself spotted there. RGN now know that they have an E5 or something with that heat in the far back. 916 Ert now making a play with TK Tommy towards that B cap again. Now Pincer with the control of that A side are able to dictate this spot or this cap here. Dragon Krieg going to be going for a reset. Puts a shot into TK, gets the reset off. Hated Fate looking for another shot as well, but getting blocked a little bit. The Dragon, this is going to be a push now. 916 Zer taking a huge shot. 640 Alpha. Gun going into his side of the IS-4. Getting bled out now. Trying to get out of harm's way. And we actually had a rotation here. The IS-4s, 3 IS-4s now making a play towards that corner. They're going to be overmatched though. And Pincer are going to be pushing a huge amount of tanks here. RGN going to be looking for the kill on Doomy. Will they be able to get it? 916 Zerd taking a lot of damage as well. RGN have the HP advantage, but Doomy is still alive. Pincer now have a gun on RGN. RGN getting completely nailed in this corner now. TK in that mouse. Gets left behind out of the fight. Tommy taking a lot of damage in that E5. Hated putting a shot into his back. Dragon Krieg coming in now. TGF Blue bleeding out, dying. Tommy will get picked up here by Dragon Krieg. Fadu in that E3 now, coming out and supporting this push. External in that IS-4, looks like he's gonna get triple tapped by an E100 and IS-4 and a mouse. Mouse setting him on fire. External taking some more damage. Fadu with the E3 picking up that kill. Dark Magician Girl in that 113 was putting in the damage in this team fight. Now gonna get focused out. TK in the mouse, trudging along, really can't do a whole lot, and that's just what happens with the mouse. If the enemy decides to ignore you and get away from you, you're basically useless. You can put some damage in, but at the end of the day, the mouse's job is to take the hits. Not a whole lot he could do there. Can't Be Shook actually surviving the whole fight. Hated Fate and the mouse coming in with the support. Or Hated Fate in that E100 coming in with the support. Fadu as well with the 640 gun. 3 IS-4s pushing towards that A corner did go down in that fight, but not before putting in a decent amount of damage and wasting a lot of time. Pincer being a little bit late with their rotation perhaps. RGN actually pushing a little bit with the cap. Well, they had the cap, they could even have afforded to lose B, but again, if a team commits onto B, you know that there's going to be a lot more rotations going on as they try to secure that cap and pick up some kills. Pincer needed to pick up a few kills because of the cap that they lost on C. They tried to do so, but RGN rotating tanks into that A corner and absorbing their push quite well. They did lose those IS-4s, but not before they wasted a lot of time, put some damage in, and allowed the mouse, the E100, and the E3 to come in and help them out in securing the win. Almost the entire fight, RGN was up on HP. Now, of course, the E100 and the mouse simply existing on the team will do that for them, but they also got some decent bleeds off, and once it got to the team fight portion, they were able to get even more damage in. especially the IS-4 and the mouse that pushed first. RGN being very quick to take them out of the game, even though Pincer was doing a good job of trying to pull them back and into support, or into supported positions. RGN going to be taking almost the same lineup except for an E5, and we have Pincer taking 3 IS-4s, an STB, an E5, a VK72, and a 113. RGN looking like they might be switching up their strat a little bit. Pincer going to be taking an STB to spot middle very quickly. Mediums are difficult to play in this meta just because the HP of heavies means a lot more for them. STB might take a shot here. It hasn't actually spotted any of the tanks crossing yet. Gets spotted. Now forced to back down. Will he be spotting this push? TJF Blue and Mike get spotted. The E5 of TJ spotted. Puts a shot in. TJ getting shot as well. The VK72 getting a good shot in. Can't be shook now getting crossfired by these tanks that are corner. RGN now in a tough position here. This E5 and IS-4 definitely isolated. Pincer have the map advantage here. RGN are going to have to make a very quick rotation if they want to win this game. They're way down on map position. You have the VK, IS-4, and STB keeping these tanks down, as well as being able to spot anything that tries to come in and support. These tanks here just trying to get some bleeds in on this group here. This group trying to stay alive as long as they can. Not able to pen the 113. 113 just chipping away with HE. Maybe not the ideal play, but it's good at just doing some damage, I guess. Fadu in that E3 hasn't rotated yet. Really should be, I believe. IS-4 of Can't Be Shook now getting pushed back by a lot of tanks here. Tommy taking a shot of damage in that corner. Fadu now making some moves. Dark Magician taking some hits as well. Zerd in that VK taking a shot. Hated Fates E100 taking a shot as well. Zerd is a little bit exposed now. Tommy taking a lot of damage. External now. Oh my god, what happened to External? Where is he? Took a lot of damage trying to cross into this A corner. Pincer are still up on HP though. Can't Be Shook gets absolutely nailed. TJF Blue now taking the hits for the front. Mike is very low. TJ taking a lot of damage again. Has popped that consumable but goes down anyways. TK taking a lot of hits. A tank, Hated Fate putting a shot into that corner over that way. TK finally goes down. That's the only tank that has gone down for this Pincer team. And HP sharing very good on that Pincer team. RGN didn't have a tank that was able to clear anything. Nike SB going down. Dragon Krieg taking a lot of hits in that mouse, and it's basically game over at this point. Able to pick up a kill on Kami before he goes down, but ultimately definitely not going to be enough. Fadu's going to take a lot of hits here. Kami and TK, the only two tanks going down for Pincer, even though HP is not that high. Pincer had this game almost from the beginning on map positioning. Once they took that A corner very well, and had the cover from B area, keeping those tanks locked into there and not able to rotate out. In my opinion, that was basically game over for RGN. Unless RGN was able to make a quick rotation to get some tanks into position. But again, that's what the B squad was there for. They weren't able to rotate anything because they'd get spotted by the tanks on that B area. And Pincer doing a good job of holding their nerves and getting some bleeds off before they made the push. Maybe waiting for RGN to make the mistake. And since they were pretty much winning that game on map positioning, and RGN really had nowhere to rotate, so RGN couldn't make a play based on rotations. Fort Despair can be one of those maps where it's difficult to rotate around and change your situation, or change the situation that you're in. That's why sometimes a lot of teams can struggle on this map, and why I didn't really like the map as a competitive player. In any case, Black Goldville is going to be the next map. Supremacy again. Black Goldville, same as a lot of recap maps. We have the B area that's a little bit difficult to contest and take, and it's a big commit, or it can be a big commit depending on your strat. And we have C and A on opposite sides of the map. RGN is going to be taking 4 IS4s, a 113, a Vickers, and an E100. Pincer is going to be taking 2 E5s, 3 IS4s, a T22, and a Vickers. So RGN opting for more firepower and armor. Pincer taking good mix. And still has a good chunk of mobility with the Vickers and the T22 as well as the E5s. RGN looks like is going to be deploying mostly towards that C area. External might get some spots in on this mid area as well as his Royal Fatness in the Vickers. Gets a spot on Kami and Dark Magician Girl as they cross. External is now spotted in the middle, but has spotted almost the entirety of RGN's force. 916 Zerd in that IS4 pushing up into the C area. Fadu taking a shot of damage. I'm just looking at the deployment here. Zerd and Kami going to be holding this mid area, but Dark Magician Girl is a little bit overextended here. RGN looking to punish and take advantage of this before they get support. TK taking some hits, DMG taking some hits as well. Fadu is going to be the focus because he's the DPM. The 113 also easier to pen than IS4s. Just trying to get some damage out before he goes down in this corner fight here. Fadu goes down now. DMG now looking very low. Nobody has the kill shot just yet. TJF Blue also getting focused out in the middle here. Was coming into support, but gets nailed by Kami, Tommy, and 916 Zerd, who came in through mid. Vickers fight going on in the back. Looks like his Royal Fatness is down on that fight there. Pincer looks like they could win this game. Pincer now up 3 tanks on RGN. RGN not able to handle the push as they would have liked to. Nike now getting focused out. Pincer just doing a very good job of focusing tanks out and prioritizing. Even if they had a tank disadvantage at the beginning, RGN wasn't there to capitalize on it as fast as they should have. Hated Fate now getting focused out. Fatness went down to external in that Vickers. And it's just going to be Dragon Krieg and Hated Fate. Definitely not going to be able to win this game. Pincer with a dominant win here on HPs. Pincer showing that they can make very solid pushes, getting some good cap advantage early on. Or not cap advantage, map control early on. So the softer tanks in that corner brawl did get focused out. Fadu wasn't even really overextended in the 113, but as soon as he got shot once, Pincer did a really good job of just focusing their attention to try to get him out of the game. Pincer coming back from a 1-0 deficit and coming up to win the series 2-1. I'm just gonna check the rest of the brackets now. And it was Shiro versus Hated. Those matches haven't finished just yet, although they should be ending very soon. So Shiro beat Hated, and it's gonna be Shiro versus Pincer in the finals there. So Shiro checking the leaderboards now, because it maybe looks like Shiro could take a spot in top 8, and they definitely will, based on the results here. So earlier I had said that Straight would be top 8 after today, but it looks like actually Shiro is going to be top 8. Again, to reiterate, it should be Pinsir, RGN, Void, MM, GMA, Ishtar, Hated, and Shiro for top 8 after today. Next games are going to be next games are going to be in 13-14 minutes or so I can play a few games before then, just to kill some time. Map is going to be Port Bay. I'm going to be playing towards that the sea area, because I can use my gun depression on that side. No tanks spotted just yet. Sheridan and STB1 have crossed. I-4 is going to be going towards the A side. PTA spotted over there, and he gets absolutely nailed. Focus out the Yag. Might get shot in the cupola. Yag fires, so now we're able to punish. Our PTA goes down very quickly. Didn't mean to run into the Panzer, but I was trying to get to the position here. Could be dangerous though, depending on what they have over there and what's paying attention to me. So I want to be careful as I play this position. I actually don't want to stay here anymore. Panzer's going to play that smart. I'm going to be down on caps. But if we're able to play this correctly, we could pick up some kills here. E5 bled a lot, unfortunately. It's gonna make it difficult for us. And our team actually pushing towards A and B, not what should be happening really. It should be just focusing over on this area. And I'm out of repairs, so I can't repair my ammo now. Not gonna be good. Team looks like rotated back. I'm able to pick up the bat, but I've got that long reload now. I'm gonna be trying to stay clear of this chieftain. Able to back up here as well and stay safe from the 62A. Hopefully we don't get wrecked. Chieftain fires. Just gonna be keeping tabs on the chieftain. Hopefully I don't get wrecked here. Puts a max roll into me. There's some seconds until we get my rack back. Missile flying over my head. I believe there's our Sheridan though. They don't have a Sheridan, so it definitely was. This would have been a much more comfortable game if I had my rack. I thought that was gonna happen. That's probably not the best shot. Should be careful of the 62A. Even though he's very low, he has good positioning there. IS-4. Gonna go down to E5, I think. Or not. Took a while to aim that. And their 70 goes down to their 62A, but he backs up too far and he gets picked up by our IS-4. Nice. These are all fake invites, unfortunately. But again, the next game should be starting in 8 minutes or so. Guess I'll go into another game very quick. This time, I'll make a proper deployment to the Castilla area. It's actually kind of funny that in 3 games I've had Castilla twice, and on the same side. We have a Leopard, a Vickers, and a 62A. That's a good bit of DPM there. But somewhat difficult things to play as they don't have the most armor. Well, the 62A is not too bad. But the Vickers and the Leopard, a little bit more difficult to make work. I've got 3 tank destroyers as well. 183 just fired Hesh, it sounded like. Yeah, heavies are going to be shooting from that side. There. Oh wow, the E100 just got nailed by 183 Hesh. It was a bad shot from me. Not able to pen him again. Shot did not hit where I wanted it. But now we're going to be aiming with M60. M60 is looking for damage. Yag looking for a shot on me. I'm not making it easy for him though. He's going to be aimed on this shot though. Just trying to bait his shot out. We've got the Yag under control for now, so I'm going to be looking to damage this M60. Our Leopard's going to go down to this M60 though. Ammo rack goes out so much on this tank, it looks like. M60 is now very low. We've got 2 tanks under control now, for the most part. E50M also low. I'll rush the shot there. Team looks pretty low, unfortunately. What? Yag finally gets a shot into me. M60 now looking to pick me up, although he's gonna get caught off guard here by my reload. Oh, again lost that. 312 with the low roll there. Yeah, just snapping a shot. Not connecting. Now a one shot to our 62A. E50M is now a one shot. For me at least, not for our 62A. Looks like our team was able to win on the other side. Got a full health E3. But at this point in the game he's not going to be of much use. Or maybe he will. Maybe he picks up the win. Let's see. Tournament room invite should be out now. But the games don't start for another 3 minutes. So it should be good. As long as this E3 doesn't manage to waste a lot of time. But you won't get the chance to. So in the finals of today's tournaments, we have Pincer against Shiro. It's Insurgents versus Rusty Eggs. We have Normandy for the map. Actually a map I kind of enjoy. 4-cap map instead of the 3 we've seen. So 4 caps we have the A cap sort of lower than the rest of the map. B cap is in the middle again. We have C and D on opposite sides of the top. All the caps are pretty much consolidated towards the middle, nearer to the middle of the map than the edges or the corners. So a lot of the times teams will cap C and D respective of their sides and then try to get a cap on A and defend A, because B again is very difficult to take because it's right in the middle of the map and it has some good cover and some good positions to reset from. I'm just checking chat. So we have 3 IS4s, 2 E5s, a bad chat, and an E100 for Shiro. We have 2 IS4s, a T22, a Vickers, 2 E5s, and a 50B, a single 50B for Pincer. Now, a lot of teams run double clippers or more, but a lot of the time, well, actually Pincer has been running, or at least on NA, Pincer has been running a single clipper, a 50B, as sort of damage support. Now, I find this to be an interesting play, just because a lot of teams hesitate to do so, because they feel that clippers should be run in pairs most of the time, and looking for like isolations and like 2400, pretty much knocking a whole tank out of the game with 2 clips. But in my opinion, clippers can be used as sort of just like as tank destroyers and medium tanks. Not as much as a medium, but I'm like saying clippers have a lot of DPM for what like a surprising amount of DPM for a heavy tank. And the best part is, of course, as clippers nature makes it, they can dump the damage out very quickly, simulating a sort of like alpha. That's why I feel like they can be used in place of tank destroyers. But they also, well, the 50B at least, they also have the mobility medium tanks. In any case, we'll see how a single 50B works out for Pincer. They have a T22 and a Vickers as well. So Pincer are going to be playing with some mobility on this map here. Shiro has a single bat chat for mobility. Bat chat is going to be making his way towards D, actually not going to be going for a spot, might actually be sitting passive spotting in this corner here. External spotted in the Vickers light. Mike going into the bowl along with Kami. Doomy puts a shot into him, Kami puts a shot into him. He's popped his consumable, but he's very low already. We have Mandalorian pushing in with him as well, and a lot of players are going to be going into this dip here. Killer in the eyes for Zerd. A lot of tanks coming in and helping out Kami as he gets pushed on. Kami still hasn't even taken a lot of damage. Mandalorian's going to go down very quickly here. And Shiro just isn't equalizing on HP as much as they could and should be. Shiro is down 2 tanks. Pincer is down 1. And now Shiro tanks are coming in. Kami has finally gone down. We've also lost external in the Vickers. Dark Magician Girl gets absolutely hammered. Completely wiped out. And Pincer are still up on HP, trying to knock out the mobility. Bat Chat way overextended now to get that kill. Goes down. Pincer have a 1 gun advantage. Now working on Apple Juice Hero. Apple Juice taking a lot of damage and is just going to be in full health E100 and a full health IS4, trying to pick this game up for Shiro. Raceland trying to put a shot in, does not pen, and that's going to be a huge amount of alpha that they needed not going into the game. Raceland's going to get focused out here. Tracked and getting focused in that E100. Doomy taking some hits as well, staying true to the focus fire. Putting a shot in towards Raceland, does not pen, 1 shot, goes down finally. Raceland now going to be picked up by Killer most likely. Killer getting a shot into the side of the turret, over-angled the turret to try to get a bounce, did not work. Megami now, last tank, going to go down here. Pincer again, showcasing their focus fire, but Shiro also doing a good job of focus firing. Not able to equalize though, they had some tanks out of the fight. Pincer was able to jump on that fight very quickly. So, push not working out for Shiro. Pincer doing a good job of receiving the push and punishing, and then counter pushing. Spawns are going to be swapped. This is still a best of 3, even though it is the finals. Next match, if it goes to Pincer, will mean that this tournament is concluded. And Pincer wins. And lineup's going to be different for Shiro. Going to be taking a 268, 2 E5s, an E100, 2 IS4s, and a Bat Chat. And Pincer is going to be taking 2 E5s, 2 IS4s, T22 of Vickers, and a 50B. I believe that's the same lineup as last game. So probably going to be a similar strat, maybe the same strat for Pincer. Shiro, we'll see if they switch it up, and we'll see if Pincer switches it up as well. Because even though teams take the same lineup, they could be doing very different things. So this is going to be the finals for today's Prove Your Skill tournament number 2. Shiro has the chance to equalize the score, maybe even win this whole tournament. Pincer looking to pick up another victory in these tournaments. We're here with Dark Magician Girl, Monka S in the chat for external. External in that Vickers light. Going to be Spotting the B ridge here. Bat chat of Devil's Daisy looks like it's going to go for a fast cap on A. Nothing to reset for Pincer. Pincer is probably going to be pushing based on this move here. Kami is actually going to be trying to get into the B cap. Megami takes a shot going in. Tommy gets a lot of damage as well. Tommy taking some hits there. Maybe wasn't expecting tanks to be showing up there. Oh, actually, external dropped down quick enough to get a reset on A. So Shiro did not get the A cap off, are bleeding as well. Raceland taking some hits in that E100. Megami as well. Devil's Daisy in the bad shot 2. External going to be working this B ridge, trying to get some shots into Raceland. Raceland is in a little bit of a tough position there. A push looks like is formulating for Shiro on this side, but they haven't taken the initiative. Pincer as well, making some rotations. External pushing in through the A cap. Gonna be looking for Megami. No. RNG. Doomy as well. Tommy. Everybody's going in here. Shiro's gonna be forced to make a play. They're gonna lose Megami and Raceland very quickly. Pincer doing a very good job of finding the isolation, rotating very quickly and making a play. Raceland now getting focused out here. Zerd did not take a lot of damage even though he was getting pushed on here. Applejuice Hero now getting onto that D cap, but this is not a cap game at this point. It's going to be a kill game. Applejuice Hero pushing into the ball. Definitely did not want to do that though, because Pincer, as soon as they finish off Raceland, are going to be focused on him now. Mandalorian pushing across. Zerd still not going down. Shiro just is not picking up the kills where they should be. Tommy running into Spooky and bounces a ton of damage in this T-22. Not bounces you would see from many other medium tanks. Zerd still hasn't gone down. Shiro just completely bleeding out. Tommy finally goes down, but not before trading about 2 kills there. Mandalorian is focused out here. Applejuice is a one-shot, gonna be picked up by External. Mandalorian goes down very quickly, and now it's just the bat chat of Devil's Daisy. Shiro not with a good push there. Pincer with a good push. Trying to get another shot in. Zerd doesn't even go down. GG's in the chat. Was not a close game. Pincer sweeping Shiro in the finals on Normandy, 2-0. And that concludes this tournament. I'm gonna check the who got. Let's see. Match for 3rd place. RGN 2-0s. Hated. So RGN gets 3rd place. Order would be Pincer, Shiro, RGN, and Hated for 1st through 4th. For this tournament here, again, Shiro, based on tonight's performance, is going to be taking 8th place, I believe, in the clan leaderboard. Hated with their performance, gonna be keeping 7th place. Ishtar actually Hated might be moving up as well. GMA, Hated actually might move up quite a bit, because Ishtar, GMA, yeah, I think they might even be moving up to 4th at this point. So Hated making moves on the leaderboard, but again, it doesn't really matter what positions there are. As long as you're top 8, you're going to be moving on to the professionals tournament. But yeah, I believe Shiro's now going to be top 8. And it's going to be, to reiterate, top 8 should be Pincer, RGN, Void, MM, GMA, Ishtar, Hated, and Shiro after today. That concludes today's stream. I'm going to be getting off now. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good